On tonight's episode, we talk about Air.
And all the pop culture news.
So, let's talk about air. Nitrogen, oxygen,
Brought to you by
CO2.
Lungs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just saw Air, the new Ben Affleck movie about the Air Jordans, the creation and salvation of Nike, the creation of the most famous sneakers, most famous tennis shoes in the planet, if not even, out of this planet. Ben Affleck, an accomplished director, a talented director, and he did it again. The movie is really good.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. This is a true story, although I didn't personally fact check much of anything there. But it's a true story, so it's not a spoiler unless you've been living under a rock for a very long time. You know the Air Jordans are a big deal, and Nike is a very big deal in basketball. But that was not always the case, and so this follows the story of the guy who really spearheaded, really saved Nike's basketball division and made Nike a big name in basketball shoes. Part of the rise of Michael Jordan and all this other stuff. And it all takes place in, was it 1984?
1984.
Yeah, so at the time, Adidas and Converse were the big names. That's what all the NBA players wore, and Nike was on the verge of just shutting down their basketball division. It was all about running shoes. They had $250,000 to get some basketball players to wear their shoes, and everybody was on the verge of losing their jobs. And that's where we kind of come in to the story.
Yes, the movie stars Matt Damon. Ben Affleck is there as well. There's so many other people. Viola Davis.
Yeah.
And Jason, what's his bucket?
Bateman.
Jason Bateman, and so many other talented people. It's fun. It's funny. Chris Messina, I think is his name. It's Affleck directed another movie that was slightly based on a true story, Argo. This one is actual a true story, but different than the other ones. This one it's not as serious. It's not a thriller. It's not the odds are as great, but there's not a lot. There's no violence. Nobody's trying to survive.
This isn't like life or death.
Yeah, survive the Iran regime. This one is about capitalism, about surviving business. It is a very American story, and a business that the foundation of it was an American dream, was an American story of hard work, and then stumbles to in the process. But overcomes and becomes one of the biggest companies in the planet in history, if you may, but also the American story of the Jordans, on how they were very smart about dealing with the cards were dealt to them, and how successful they became, and how they help people to their successful, to their profits, to foundations and every other thing. And I don't know, I feel like the movie premiered on 4/5/23, which is April 5th, 2023. And the movie premiered on that date because 4/5/23 is the only jersey numbers that Michael Jordan ever wore. But it's definitely one of those movies that, if it was in December, November, it would definitely get a lot of nominations. I don't know if it will get to that point because it's far. I guess it depends on the campaign, and also the Academy. It depends on who they want to give. They give to everywhere, everything, all at once. And some categories that were deserved, but some others that, you had Spielberg there. You had a lot of great names and great movies there. And that one was one that premiered like almost a year before.
Yeah, which is really unusual.
Yeah, so the politics of the whole thing are what makes the movie or not. Even Argo, the movie that won the Oscar for Best Picture for Affleck, he was not nominated for Best Director. So politics work in a way that it might help you or might screw you. Depends on on what side, not even on what side you are, because they are all on the same side, but depending on what side they put you at the moment.
Yeah.
But Affleck did a terrific job on this one. He in a very interesting way, the movie works around Michael Jordan, but we never see him.
Yeah, there's a really cool way to like preserve the mythic quality of Michael Jordan as a basketball player.
Because the movie wasn't really about him. It was about a deal,
like everything around him.
Yeah, a deal made with him that could be made with him. So he was, I don't know, 1/3 of the plot, but at the same time, his parents had great importance. The parents managed
specifically
him.
his mother.
Yeah, they managed him in a way that she spoke for him like most of the time. And Viola Davis portrays the mother, and her actual husband portrays the father. On an interview, in several interviews, Ben Affleck explained why he wouldn't do. If you put Michael Jordan there, it's like the movie suddenly is about Michael Jordan, and he was a means to an end, sort of. Yeah, but what else?
I think we get to see lots of different kinds of like visionary and determined people. We have Matt Damon, of course, who is the one who decides we're going to put all the chips on Michael Jordan and we're going to create this new shoe and like just totally change how we do sports marketing and how we how we're going to work with athletes and all that stuff. So you have his visionary determination gambling thing going on. We have the Jordans and their visions and hopes for the future for Michael Jordan's career. We have even the shoe designer, the guy who actually designed that first Air Jordan shoe and like came up with the idea of like using that image of Michael Jordan for the logo. So like his vision, his dream of what a basketball shoe could be versus what it was. So it was really cool to see all of that coming together, and that's, I think, part of what made it a compelling story. Not that just Michael Jordan was a phenomenal athlete, but that you had all these different people coming together and making something truly new and different happening, including Michael Jordan's mom, who demanded something on the contract that no one had ever expected before, but she expected it, made it happen, and it like has benefited the Jordan family and through them, through all their charities, like so many other people ever since then. Anyway, so it was really cool to see, even if you're not, I'm not super into basketball, but what this is dealing with is like stuff that's so big, such a big part of American culture, that it's, and it's just a really compelling story. So excellent movie. There's one particular tirade that takes this from a really just lovely story into a PG-13, maybe R. I don't know, there's like one scene where this guy just goes off. It's hilarious, but it's like the only thing that I would say, like, maybe don't take your kids to see it. Maybe wait until they're older.
Who goes off?
Remember the agent?
On
the phone.
What they speak.
Yeah.
Oh, they
It
want
kind of reminds me of like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, where like the whole film is like overall pretty like safe and wholesome, and then there's just one scene that is like comedy gold, but so many F-bombs, so many horrific jokes and insults are dropped that like, anyway.
Yeah.
It's very funny. Just a heads up.
Yeah, no, it's
a content
good.
warning.
It's really good. Messina, that I think he was in Argo too, and he's David Faulkner. David Falk. The name of the character.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it's really good, and it's a really well done movie. It tells a really good story, which Michael Jordan's very success was probably the greatest athlete ever lived, the best NBA player ever by any measure. And he went he went up, and then he had problems. He lost his father. His father was
That was murdered, right?
yeah. His father
Yeah.
was he stopped the car to take a nap, and people killed him.
Jeez.
Took the car, and they found because they found the car. And then they dumped the body. They found the
Gosh.
body, and then they found the car. The guys are still serving in prison life without parole, something like that. And divorced, and then he to honor his father, he decided to play baseball, and there was this whole thing, this whole crisis that went through his life. But then he came back and won, I think, 2 more NBA championships.
Yep.
So there's all that, but that is it's all in the future. He was just out of college to start the NBA, and the guy that sees a talent in him, the guys that decides to bet his livelihood and the livelihood of part of the company, he decides, he sees it, and he sees something there, and he bets. It's a gamble, but it works. Throughout the movie, they show the rules for Nike, 13 rules, whatever.
Yeah, some of those are really interesting.
And the mission statement divided in 13, you might say. But it was good. If you like the beginning, you go like, the story. It's Michael Jordan. Everybody knows him. The Air Jordans are a staple.
Yeah.
But he builds the story. He tells the story in such a creative and nice way that hooks you and keeps you there, even though the end.
Yeah.
But it works really well. It's compelling, even when it's close to close the deal. He works you in a way that you feel a little bit of, but but that's why the movie is so good.
Yeah, that's just good storytelling. Like, yeah, even knowing that Air Jordans would become like a massively successful cultural icon that like redefined athletic shoes for generations to come. Like, yeah, there's still like tension and
because it's so well done. Affleck proved again that he's a great director. Anything else? It's the 80s, so there's a lot of 80s stuff we see. There's a lot of 80s music.
Ben Affleck going jogging in pink leggings and pink shorts.
Yeah, he's wearing like tights, like
leggings.
Huh? Yeah, that was tights. Weird. Yeah.
It was a great look.
Yeah. Anyways,
it was iconic.
Air, directed by Ben Affleck, starring Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Viola Davis,
Jason Bateman,
Chris Messina, and many other people. Is available in theaters everywhere.
Marlon
Wayans.
Yeah.
Oh, and Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker is really good on it. It's so nice to see Chris Tucker. He's a funny guy. He's hilarious. But on this one, he's at one point someone called him Reverend. He's
like the VP of something.
Yeah, but I think he's the VP of basketball division.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jason Bateman is the marketing guy.
Yeah.
Anyways, and it was good. He's good at it, and it's at theaters everywhere. You should go see it. And gladly is at theaters everywhere, because Amazon is an Amazon movie. They almost decided to move it to not go to the theaters, to go straight to streaming. I don't know. There's the costs involved on taking the movies to the theaters. I don't know if the trade is, if keeping it to streaming would make them more money, but it's definitely worth sent to the theaters, and people should go and enjoy it.
Yep, we definitely did. It was lovely. This week, my mind just went blank. In London, the big Star Wars event. What's it called?
Celebration.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that was embarrassing. That was really embarrassing. Let me back up.
Star Wars Celebration. And
Yeah.
with that, a lot of Star Wars news. Something good, something but everything Star Wars. Yeah, well, we start.
Yeah. Okay, so probably the biggest announcement was a new Star Wars trilogy.
It's not a trilogy.
Okay, well, 3 new Star Wars films.
Yes.
That sounds
completely disconnected.
Oh my gosh. It's okay.
So,
sorry.
Let's start with the big.
When you announce 3 new Star Wars films at once, it sounds like, a trilogy. Because Star Wars comes in trilogies.
If anything, it feels like desperation. But I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
The biggest one, I think, the one that excites more because it's going to the right side. Ahsoka. The Ahsoka show, trailer for Ahsoka, that one looks good.
Yeah.
But it looks good because it's being built for so many years now. We have Clone Wars, and then she came on Rebels, and then she came on The Mandalorian. So Filoni is building things in a proper way, and he learned from Lucas. He worked with Lucas. He's not the part of the new generation of Lucasfilm. He was there when the Godfather of the Force, when Lucas was there. So Ahsoka is a really great character. She appeared in The Mandalorian with Luke Skywalker, and she's finally gonna get a show. And the show, the trailer, there's a lot of hints and teases and names being dropped.
Oh my gosh!
The heir of the Empire, Thrawn.
You see the back of his head. It's very exciting.
The Katana fleet. Oh, you didn't see the image of his face? There's an image actually.
Oh, is there?
There's footage of him coming out. You can actually see him.
Okay.
It's gonna be the same guy that voiced him in the animation. Gonna be him on the show.
Lars Mikkelsen?
Sure.
Okay.
Is a Mikkelsen. He's brother of
Mads Mikkelsen.
Mads, yeah.
Yeah, which despite like the name aside, it's like absolutely not surprising because they both have the same I'm vaguely creepy and definitely a villain vibe.
He had that Nazi look and Nazi kind of accent, and Thrawn is a big, admiral,
super intelligent.
Yeah. He's a mix of Sherlock Holmes and anyways, the Katana fleet. We see a lot of elements from the what else? There was something else big, but we saw Ezra, we saw Satine, we saw Hera, Sabine, we saw Hera. So great stuff from
Rebels. Played by
Rebels.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead, the wife of Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, Mrs. McGregor.
Yeah, Mrs. Obi-Wan.
So it looks good. It looks interesting. It's working. It's working in so many ways. Heir of the Empire, one of the greatest Star Wars books ever made. If Star Wars sequels were made properly, they would use those books by Timothy Zahn. So it uses that. It uses Ahsoka from Rebels, the Filoni expanded universe. It has from Clone Wars. It has the cast of Rebels, Sabine, Hera, and Ezra.
Yep.
So it's exciting. It works. It works really well, and one can hope that they're gonna start and end this whole thing before it gets close to the sequels, because then there's when the thing starts to derail. Because at this point, Luke Skywalker is Luke Skywalker. Leia is Leia, Solo is Solo. They're all together. There's not the mess that they created with the sequel. So that one was a big one. That was an exciting.
Yeah. Filoni has proven time and time again that he understands what has made Star Wars so great and how to keep telling those stories and expanding that universe and giving us more and different, but without gutting the heart and soul of Star Wars out of it. So I'm very excited for this series.
So what's been done on The Mandalorian, what's going to be done in Ahsoka, what's been done in Bad Batch, Clone Wars, all that will culminate eventually with a movie. David Filoni is going to direct a Star Wars movie, most likely Mandalorian, but who knows? Maybe it'll culminate with, a big event where they're gonna develop, Heir of the Empire, the Dark Force Rising, and the Last Command. So it might put all together on that. Or not, but this is a fact. Dave Filoni will direct a Star Wars movie. The other two movies will be directed by...
it looks like the first one will come from Sharmeen Obaid Chinoy. The odds of my saying that wrong are almost 100%, so my apologies.
Yeah, so I think she she doesn't have a lot of experience, but she fits the checklist for not only the fact that she's a woman, she will be the first woman to direct a Star Wars movie, but she fits the checklist that she is the type of director that will work for the producer, which is what Kathleen Kennedy seems... Kathleen
Kennedy.
Kathleen? Not Catherine? Isn't
it Kathleen?
Okay.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's Kathleen.
Okay. Kathleen Kennedy has been doing, and there was problems on the set of Rogue One. The movie almost never came out. Solo, she fired the director and put someone that would do what she wanted, even though it was a great director, Ron Howard. It's not, someone's puppet, but it's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, so there's that, and she's gonna direct a Rey movie, which I was like, yeah, okay. 15 years after the original, 15 years after the last movie of the sequels.
The Rise of Skywalker.
And she's leading the new Jedi Order, which is kind of...
The new Jedi Order.
The new Jedi Order. Is kind of, she has the Holy Scriptures and everything.
Yes.
It's kind of disappointing because they unmade destroy Luke on the sequels when he was trying to do that. He wasn't incapable to do that. He was disgraced and literally killed in the trilogy, and now they're gonna make her doing that. When I don't know, it should be done with Luke because it was done with Luke in the books, and it would be the natural sequence continuity.
And then you could make
story.
New characters with new stories, doing new things.
Yeah, the video games did
Instead
that.
of like saying, "Oh, all these other stories, those don't count anymore."
Yeah,
we're gonna give you a worse version of those old stories that we said didn't count. So disappointing.
They dead and they're bad. Only in the games, in Dark Forces, in Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, Luke is there. There's an academy. You don't follow Luke all the time. You follow the character from the game because you tell a story using what you have, not necessarily destroying what came before. But anyways, so the movie is coming with Rey. So Daisy Ridley, is that her name?
Yep.
Is coming back for it. The other movie will be directed by James
Mangold.
James Mangold, the man. He works with Kathleen Kennedy. He just directed the Indiana Jones movie, and he's gonna direct one about the rise of the Jedi, the dawn of the Jedi, 25,000 years before the.
Okay.
The reference used to be the Battle of Yavin. I don't know if they still use that. They actually posted this whole new timeline, which also pissed some classic fans because the era, it used to be called Galactic Civil War.
Yeah.
Because there was a Clone Wars, and there was a Galactic Civil War, the Rebellion Empire, and now they call it the era of the Fall of the Jedi, which is...
It's in the screen crawl.
Yeah.
Like the phrase Civil War.
Yeah,
like
it's like their goal is to remake everything in their own image, in like.
It makes no sense. It makes no
Kylo
sense
Ren,
at all.
forget the past, kill it if you must. So.
But you mustn't, because the past was really good, and that's why they spent $4 billion on it.
Yeah.
So why?
But
I want to be open-minded about this stuff because it could be good. the track record isn't great, but it could be good, and I don't want to be a miserable person, so I want to be open-minded. But they keep doing stuff like this. It's just like why? Okay.
Yeah, but so the third one would be James Mangold, Rise of the Dawn of the Jedi. I think is the right calling that. So there's that 3 movies. The whole thing smells like desperation because they want to do I mean, the same desperation that are making them release another Shrek. Is there another Shrek announced?
I think so.
Maybe I'm thinking.
That sounds right.
But that's not Disney.
No,
Another Toy Story. Another Frozen. You know. Moana, they just gonna do
Moana.
They got Moana it's like
few years, less than a decade after.
You know, the industry is made of sequels, reboots, and remakes, but it's like, guys, you know, it's like they're desperate because the internal crisis they have, the political crisis they have because of COVID all together. You know, the money making machine might not be making money as they want, so they desperately trying to throw. And it's funny because one of the words Kathleen Kennedy used was like to make Star Wars an event again. But if you have Star Wars every week,
it's not an event.
It's not an event
that's what happened with Solo. Like, besides the fact that it wasn't a great movie, like there was no time to be excited about it or anticipate it because which one was it?
Rogue One?
No, it wasn't Rogue One. It was right after. My brain just turned off
Rise
again.
of the Jedi?
No, it was right after Last Jedi, wasn't
Last
it?
Jedi, I think so.
I think so. They were like back to back. So we had Last Jedi, which was controversial, to be kind, and then Solo, like I'm trying to be diplomatic. Yeah, like there was no time to be like excited or anticipate, and these are things that are part of an event anyway.
Yeah, especially
like it's okay to make less if what you're gonna make is better.
Especially considering, so you're gonna do a movie 15 years after the last one. Wait 15 years, you know why? Yeah. I guess what they really want to do is create methods to do what Marvel does. Every 2 years you have a movie, some good, some really good, some mediocres. We can talk about Captain Marvel. No, anyways, so to extend this thing that they're gonna have movies every 2 years, but if the movies are good, fine. But you know why dealing with Rey now? You could do the Mandalorian. You could do you start the whole. And the plan was that's all the thing that keeps changing. That the plan was to give a trilogy to Rian Johnson. Stupid idea, but to give him a trilogy of movies that would take place thousands of years before the Skywalker saga. That was cancelled. What else they canceled? They canceled a Rogue Squadron movie by Patty Jenkins. Honestly, I would feel a lot more. I would feel more comfortable. I would feel better if she would be the first woman to direct a Star Wars movie, because she proved that she's talented and she does great. But she directs. She knows, like, I want to do this. Kathleen Kennedy would not allow that. That's why they canceled that. So they canceled so many other things. And now they announced a movie for Rey. One movie? Or is that a trick? They're gonna do one and then they're gonna do one more, then one more, and another trilogy. Or if anything, the expansion of this new Star Wars momentum, I think, is doing poorly, because if they should do the Mandalorian first, then the James Mangold, and if his movie is successful, do another one, and they're probably gonna be successful, and do another one, and then go back to Rey. Wait 5-10 years, maybe 15 years. But no, they're gonna put Rey first. Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, at Celebration, we heard of all the Star Wars news, and let's go through them.
Yeah, so they unveiled some first footage for The Acolyte. This is a new Star Wars series.
Yeah, it's also, I guess, in the High Republic. It's like I think I saw somewhere it's 100 years before the Skywalker saga.
Okay.
No, I'm thinking of something else. What is it? They just announced something else. Anyways,
Okay.
it's before the Skywalker saga.
They also dropped some teaser footage for a new show called Skeleton Crew, featuring Jude Law as a Jedi. And they announced that Bad Batch got renewed.
Yes.
Which is very nice, especially given like how absolutely gut wrenching that last season finale was. Other Star Wars news that's not necessarily from Celebration. The Mandalorian Season 3 is airing right now, and the demand hasn't quite matched the first 2 seasons' peaks. And like I feel like the first season, like every episode hit so hard, and this season, like, there's some more ups and downs. Like, there's some episodes where it's just like nothing really happens, and then there's episodes where so much happens and it's really intense and amazing. So
there's always the problem when you try to do expanded universe but you don't expand. You know.
Sure.
And the first one was classic expanded universe because it was a story about Mandalorian, a bounty hunter, and the things that happened to him. Even though there was Baby Yoda there, and everybody's freaked out about having Baby Yoda there. Which, by the way, there's like rumors that Baby Yoda will be important on Rey's movie, which again, connecting things in ways they don't connect, it might cause problems that could be avoided. But anyways, so
that would beg the question: where was Grogu when the First Order was rising and crushing the resistance?
And when Luke disappeared, it's like when the Jedi
Why did Grogu
Order
step up?
Anyways, but yeah, the numbers don't lie. The numbers show that is declining, and there's a lot of people not happy with some stuff, and there's this whole debate if like is the Mandalorian the group, the race, is Din Djarin, Pedro Pascal's character, is it Bo-Katan, and which anyways. It's going, but they promised that the end of the season is going to be spectacular. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing.
I'm waiting to be betrayed, not by the poor writers like in the Last Jedi, but there's a betrayal on this show.
Yeah,
it's coming.
Yeah,
Want to bet? There's suspect. But anyways, moving
on. Okay. Also from Disney, we got a new Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny trailer.
It gives us more details, but it's still the same that we knew from trailers, from leaks, from rumors. There's going to be time travel. And,
which I don't like.
Yeah, it's a way to pitch him fighting Nazis. I guess that's the best thing about Indiana Jones is when he fights Nazis.
Yeah.
But we'll see. This will be the last Harrison Ford Indiana Jones, and they said it's going to be the last Harrison Ford Indiana Jones. Nobody's saying he's the last Indiana Jones, which is alarming, preoccupying. But we'll see.
I think anybody who makes an Indiana Jones after The Last Crusade has massive cojones, because The Last Crusade was perfect, and it was called The Last Crusade. And I feel like after you peak, like, do a George Costanza. Be like, all right, I'm out. Like, that's it. Yeah. It's not going to get better than that. Anyway, we'll see. As hesitant as I am, every time we see the trailer, I can't help getting super pumped. Because Indiana Jones is just that great a character. Anyway,
if they had balls, they would do what they did with the James Bond. The last 007 movie. What's it called? Can't remember. Anyways.
Spectre?
No, Spectre was the second on this wave of 4. No Time to Die.
Yeah.
They killed him. But they did in such a nice way. Not the death is nice, but it's like they did, it was...
I cried.
The death of a hero, a
James
legend.
Bond movies have
epic.
no business making a person cry, but tears. It was amazing.
See some of the other 26. Anyways, last by least, but the from Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh yeah.
Jon Favreau apparently nearly quit Star Wars because of her, and that's not the first person that comes and claims that, she is. She started in the industry working for Spielberg, from Darabont, from Donner, from Lucas, and now she's finally the boss. She's got a great
resume.
But she's finally the boss on the toxic industry. They talk about toxic men towards women in Hollywood. She went through all that, and I don't know. Maybe some people there are punished. They get up and they punish others. I'm not saying she does that, but either way, it's like she's the boss and she decides. And the way she decides is creating conflict there for one reason or the other. Anyways,
Deadpool 3, they've announced that Marina Baccarin and Stefan Kapicic. Anyway, they're reprising their roles.
Yeah, Vanessa and Colossus.
Yeah. But that's all coming out as Rotten Tomatoes suggests that maybe Marvel movies might be on a bit of a decline, which I think anybody who watches Marvel movies probably could have told you.
Yeah, but who's not in the decline? Video games. Nintendo Mario is doing great.
So well.
It beat.
It's the highest earning.
It's highest
animated
animation ever, beating Disney Who, and it beat Elsa. Yeah,
they beat Frozen 2.
And there's even rumors that the movie would be nominated for Best Song. And if they take that Oscar from Disney, who always, takes the cake on that one, with bitches.
Yeah, that's right. Amazing. Oh my gosh. I mean, I doubt it would ever happen, but I want it so bad for Jack Black to win an Oscar for Peaches. At the very least to perform. Yeah. There's a great video. I've only seen clips of it, but they did produce a music video of him playing the song in a Peach suit at a Peach piano.
No, not Bowser suit.
Was it a Bowser suit? He's not wearing Peach?
I don't know. I mean, is he wearing Peach? Why would that Peach?
Oh, because the song's called Peaches.
Yeah, Bowser's singing about Peaches.
Yeah. Anyway, it's great. Anyway, I was going to save that as our last tidbit of good news, but we just couldn't hold it in. So that's happening. Yeah, maybe we can hope it's eligible.
So yeah, they're doing great. The audiences are loving it. The scores are up there, and kids and adults alike. And it's great. It's great. It's fun. And the video games might be the new comic book. And naturally, it naturally was. We had the generation that get their adventure, their fantasies from comic books, and then came the video games. There was like one step ahead for pop culture, for adventure, for fantasy, and it seems like it's happening now for video games in the film industry. They keep trying, and some successful, some not.
Yeah.
But Mario came to stay, and good, because I love to see more. Yeah.
A great job. Maybe the key is doing animation.
I mean, there's a lot of things that should be done in animation.
Yeah.
And it's
like sometimes there's just a better choice.
Like Heir of the Empire. Give them to Filoni, animate, feature animation, not feature, feature length animations, and he can tell the story. He can use the original cast. I mean, most of them. And instead of like having to tweak and have to do it, you can use Mark Hamill. You can pay for this. You can pay for this. Luke. You can use Luke, because then you're gonna have to pay George Lucas, and this whole mess.
Yeah. Well.
But anyways, and there's a lot of things in the world of Star Wars and fantasy and in comic books that animations you could expand and do an animation a year to tell long comic book sagas instead of crushing in 2 hours and skipping decades of good story just to
Anyways, Netflix. So they dropped a trailer for Extraction 2. Basically, Chris Hemsworth is on fire, and very violent things happen, and it looks great.
He keeps kicking butt. He died and came back.
Yes.
And it looks good. It looks intense. It looks good.
Yeah. It looks like Avatar: The Last Airbender, the live-action reboot of the animated series, is probably getting pushed back as far as 2024.
Yeah.
So, hopefully that means they're just doing a really good job and taking their time to get it right.
The Stranger Things creators announced a new show talking about animation and animated series.
Do we know what it's about? Like, is it prequel or?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think I heard something about it's a prequel. Yeah. I want to say 70s. Don't quote me on that. But yeah.
Okay. The Night Agent, a new Netflix film. It took them only 3 weeks.
It's a series.
It's a series.
Yeah.
The new Netflix series. It only took 3 weeks to get into Netflix's top 10 most popular shows of all time.
Yeah.
So congrats, folks.
It looks good. It sounds good. You're getting there. You know, it didn't start it, but we definitely will. I mean, everybody else did.
Yeah. Other super popular content this past week, the 10 Commandments, which makes sense because of Passover and Easter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, wholesome content about, religion.
It's a really iconic film.
And it's a great movie. Yeah. And religion that is based off principles of most people in this world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, many paintings of Moses, since then many portrayals of Moses, are basically portrayals of Charlton Heston.
Yeah.
Or like the robe that he wears, like that's officially that's Moses. That's Moses' robe.
Yeah. I mean, even the transfiguration, right? We're not quite sure what is that. What does that mean in detail? And the movie made that happen, and they created a standard for what it is, pretty much.
There you go. It's cool stuff. If you haven't seen it, you should. It's good classic Hollywood stuff. Another super popular show is Rabbit Hole, starring Kiefer Sutherland on Paramount Plus. We've enjoyed it so far.
Yes, it's good. It's intriguing. It's riveting. It's mystery thriller. It's don't trust anybody. And it's a lot more to come, but it's fun.
Yeah. So that's on the list of most watched news shows, and it deserves to be there. Okay, HBO Max is no more.
Yes, HBO Max is dead. Long live Max. Someone made a joke that someone Warner Brothers Discovery, so we're gonna create this new streaming service. We're gonna aggregate everything from HBO Max and from Discovery, and we need a name, but we can't use the HBO name because it carries a lot of bad stuff. Sopranos, The Wire, Game of Thrones. Everything that HBO makes, they're spectacular. Someone decides that it wasn't a good idea.
Yeah.
So they dropped HBO and now it's only Max. I mean, if you're gonna put another name, at least it would be HBO Discovery HBO.
Yeah. Discovery HBO.
Instead of like, dude, it's like you the thing that attracts people the most.
Yeah.
You're dropping it, but Max. And with Max came a lot of announcements. Good news for Harry Potter fans, for instance. They're gonna have a TV show, executive producer by the one and only J.K. Rowling, the creator and writer of the books. And the show is already set to have 10 seasons. It will be 10 years. So I'm not really deep into the lore of that, but I see that in the game. What's it called?
Hogwarts Legacy.
There's they tell a decent story, right? They have good content. They have a good lore expansion, and I imagine that having the chance to expand the books in 10 seasons, let's say 10 episodes each of 1 hour each, so 10 hours would be like 100 hours. They would do a very decent adaptation and even expansion.
A lot of book fans over the years who have been disappointed in film adaptations have long speculated that a TV series could be a really great way to adapt a book, because you have time in a TV series to get all these other like nuances and details that inevitably have to be cut to make like a 2 or 3 hour movie. So I'm excited to see this experiment come to pass.
And HBO does have that they they expand there's of course there's
Yeah.
some cases that fail, but they will expand in a nice way to develop character, to tell a story. It's even not being a big into it. I look forward to it.
Yeah, another plus about this is that the series is finished. When they started making the movies, she hadn't finished writing the series, and so there were a lot of people who weren't sure what was going to go where, what characters were going to be important when. A lot of actors didn't know how long they would have a job. So now that the series is finished, they can look at the thing as a whole and hopefully do some better adapting and storytelling.
Yeah.
We shall see. Okay, another really interesting looking HBO series was announced as starring Robert Downey Jr. It's called The Sympathizer.
Yeah, it's about a communist from Vietnam. It's a spy game show. Very interesting. We shall see it next year. So yeah. Oh, this one is 100 years. Game of Thrones prequel, Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So another series for HBO Max, whatever. Yeah.
Set 100 years presumably before Game of Thrones.
Before Game of Thrones.
Okay. Yeah. Right on. Big Bang Theory is getting a spin-off.
Details are under wraps. We don't know what it's gonna be, but yeah.
Okay.
They're kids. Too soon, right?
Yeah,
but
they've
again,
already got young Sheldon going.
I mean, they're kids.
Oh, they're kids.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
they're not
way
there.
Too soon. Yeah. Anyways,
Oh.
The Conjuring, another big Warner Brothers franchise, is getting a series. HBO Max.
Yep. True Detective Night Country.
I think that this will be the 4th season. This one with Jodie Foster's and Callie Reyes.
Working on an Alaska cold case.
Yeah.
What's that
Get
you
it?
say?
Code it.
Aren't all the cases cold in Alaska? I guess this one's super cold. Anyways.
We saw the trailer for the Penguin. It's not quite a trailer. It's a featurette. It's like in production. It shows scenes of the Penguin show set in the Batman universe. Matt Reeves.
The Matt Reeves Batman.
And it feels like they're gonna go for mobster Godfather. They're gonna give the Penguin a Joker treatment, apparently. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. That doesn't look bad. Not Jake. What's his bucket?
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell is a terrific actor.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. Frank Grillo has been tapped to play Rick Flag in Creature Commandos.
Yes, it's animation for the new DC universe.
Okay.
And you might remember him from Captain America. He was the guy that was always there. He became Crossbones eventually, and he was in The Purge, and he was in so many other things. He's a tough guy, and he's gonna be on this one. Surprise, surprise! James Gunn's brother is gonna be also on this. But
What?
Yeah, no nepotism there. But anyways.
I would be miffed about it, except he's like so delightful and hilarious in everything he's in.
Yeah.
Like, who am I to complain? Okay, over to Amazon. The one, the only Sylvester Stallone has signed a first look deal.
Yeah.
He's not done making movies.
And if you didn't see the trailer or commercial for The Stallones, yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. A League of Their Own has gotten a shorter season 2.
And it's going to be short. It's going to be the last season. So apparently, I don't know. The movie was good. I heard of the changes to the show. I was like, oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, it's not big on my radar. We saw a trailer for The Continental.
Yeah, the show takes place in the 70s. Is a prequel. Is in the same universe as John Wick. Same as the Ballerina that comes in June. But this one is in the 70s. And Ballerina seems to be more contemporary. Anyways.
Yeah, trailer didn't reveal a whole lot that we didn't already know. The Continental is a hotel for super assassins.
I guess the rules might change because there's a rule that you don't do business at the Continental. It's all hollow ground, whatever.
Yeah.
In this one, they don't care.
There did seem to be quite a bit of business.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. In shocking, heartbreaking news, NPR has quit Twitter.
Is the first media news outlet media company to leave Twitter since
Musk
Elon Musk took over.
Yeah.
We don't know what else is gonna happen, but it's still Twitter is still the source of, I want to say 60 to 70% of news. They put it out there. It's like, oh, someone on Twitter says that, it becomes news. Like,
Yeah.
It's almost ridiculous. But
It's a weird place. Anyway, in an announcement that's barely news at all, NBC has renewed Dick Wolf series.
Yeah, which is, I mean, people love it. He will make it, and NBC will distribute it. So
yes, for those of you who, like me, don't quite remember who Dick Wolf is, this is Law and Order, Chicago Fire. So yeah, not a surprise at all. Picard's gonna there's an episode this week and a last episode next week. And next week they're gonna do a special release in theaters on IMAX. The last 2 episodes, probably the last 2 times you're gonna ever see Patrick Stewart, Captain Picard. Who knows? Picard, maybe. But they're gonna do a special screening on IMAX in New York, LA, some other big venues, with the cast present for a Q&A. Yep. This season has been spectacular. Loved it so much. And if you haven't, watch the end credits very closely, because it's just packed with Easter eggs of what's happened, what's to come. It's good stuff.
There's rumors and that's Lethal Weapon 5 coming.
Oh.
Which, come on, Lethal Weapon is awesome.
I'm too old for that. Get it.
And yeah, that'd be awesome. Riggs and Mortog.
Yeah.
Coming back. Yeah.
It's such a great role for Mel Gibson. Really for both of them. Yeah, anyway. That's fun stuff. A new Street Fighter movie is in the works.
Again, back to the video game, what was the company?
Legendary
acquired the live action rights for Street Fighter movie. And it was tried before. There's a couple Street Fighter movies. There's one of what was London's Marvel. Chino, Christian Croc. Christian Croc.
Yeah.
There's one called Legend of Chun-Li, but before that there was one of Jean-Claude Van Damme, Raul Julia. That was fun. I remember I was a kid into the movies. It's like, yes, Street Fighter movie. You should see it one of these days. But anyways, they're gonna Legendary. So Legendary's a good place, and they're gonna try to make another one.
Yeah.
And video games are a very good source now. If Mario's successful, Nintendo could go for a big Zelda.
I was just thinking
a big Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
A big, so many.
Yeah.
Metroid. So many cool stuff that could be done.
I don't know if I could handle like a Donkey Kong only film, but Zelda, there could be a lot there.
If a good story, he's like a big guy. He's like Shrek. You could, if you have good writers, you could develop something fun.
You could.
Yeah. Anyways, anything else?
That's it. That's all we got.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that's it for this week. We come back with more pop culture news and entertainment next week with the stuff you're going to watch. May the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.